Hey yo, Chris from Lemming and UPNLOADED.com. Today we're doing a live stream. That is a stream that is live. Completely unprepared off the top of the dome. And we're going to kick it to you. So, got a lot to talk about. Gonna let the thousands and thousands of live viewers just pour in. Currently at 0. But that is not a distraction for us, right? No, not at all. In fact, we know. Hey. Got our first viewer. First of 1,000. We got a boy, Rick. Rick DLC. Hey, Rick. You beat Cool Man here tonight. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Yeah, we're doing this live. We're doing it live. Just like Mr. Mr. William O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly would say, we'll do it live. That's what we're doing today. So thank you, Rick. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about today. We're gonna make it very interesting. As interesting as I could possibly come up with. Let me just get everything set up. You know, you're in the early stages of this stream, so that's when things are getting set up. But try to have as much ready before I start. And today is no different. We're gonna do a few things today. We're going to play some Fortnite, of course. A lot of people enjoy themselves the Fortnite. But we're also gonna do some trailer impressions and some news. You know, I like to talk about the news. I like to get your thoughts on the news as well. So let's start with some Fortnite. And of course, as always, feel free to chime in. I am always willing to read your comments and discuss. And if that doesn't sound exciting to you, I understand. Hold on, this is new. Epic just added this. Let's watch this. This is a Laser Lemming premiere. And if you've been watching anybody else play Fortnite, this is not new to you. Season 4. Laser Lemming premiere. Nobody's ever seen this before. First ever. Exclusive. Yeah, I heard they added some like underground levels to this game. You've probably seen it already. But I haven't. Season 4. Can you believe there's been 4 seasons? What is a season in Fortnite world? Is it an actual season? Because, you know, you get like a game like Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty, Battlefield, whatever. They call it a season. They call it a season pass, but it's really a year-long ordeal, right? Rick says they changed the map. Yeah. So I heard that they added like kind of superhero layers underneath the map. And I'd be happy to go hunting for some of these secret areas. And if you've been playing or if you've seen other people play, give Chris a heads up, because he don't know. He don't know where to go. We're gonna figure it out though. We're gonna figure it out. How y'all doing? We got ourselves 2 viewers out of 2,000. We're aiming for 2,000 viewers tonight, just to start. And if you want to help us get to 2,000, you could retweet the message or share the message on Facebook. You know, the UPNLOADED, at UPNLOADED on Twitter and Facebook. I don't know how obnoxious I can promote myself tonight, but aiming to raise the bar. How y'all doing? Yeah. So like I said, we're gonna show some trailers today, some impressions, and we'll talk about some news. Let's get started though. We're playing the game. Might as well get started. So we'll start with a little bit of warm-up news. PlayStation Now has announced, or Sony has announced that PlayStation Now, you know, their streaming game service, you know, their pay by the month backwards compatibility service, is going to have PlayStation 2 games join the ranks. Rick says I haven't played the new season yet. Yeah, I guess I'm playing the new season. Looks a lot like the old season so far, but We'll see. So yeah, PlayStation Now is going to have PlayStation 2 games. You know, it started out as this PS3 collection where Sony charged people for backwards compatibility, essentially. They egregiously overpriced backwards compatibility. And over time, they've been adding more to it because Microsoft has been making them look bad, to put it frankly. They got their asses handed to them in E3 2013, and they've been paying for it ever since. Xbox brand went from #1 in the West to, I guess, #3. I mean, technically, the Xbox One has more consoles sold than the Switch, but if you were to put them out at launch at the same time, the Switch would be stomping all over the Xbox One too. So Microsoft has been paying for their sins, most definitely. Now, they have tried to make up for it in certain aspects, especially when it comes to backwards compatibility. Last gen, Microsoft was very bad at backwards compatibility. They said, you know, we'll try. We'll try. They did some poorly emulated Xbox games on the 360, and they gave up about a year and a half later. That was it. This gen, they said, yo, we got some hardware, a little beefier, can handle a little more, and they've been delivering in spades. Probably have the best, not probably, they do have the best backwards compatibility system of all of the systems available. You know, Nintendo should be stomping all over that too, but that's currently on Nintendo. Nintendo had the Virtual Console, and there's no talk about the Virtual Console right now. We're waiting until September, most likely. Maybe this month when they talk about their online service, they're finally going to be talking about that. Somebody's already been here. The door's open. There's a brick staircase there. Somebody already took the good guns. So yeah, Microsoft has been doing better than Sony and Nintendo so far in the backwards compatibility arena. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I'm, like, looking at him. Shoot me. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. I need some hints. We lost that. We all lost that. That was not just my fault. But I placed 43rd. 43rd, no kills. Not bad. Better than half of the team. Better than half of the players there. Anyway, so Microsoft has been doing better than Sony and Nintendo. Sony, I have not been a fan at all of their backwards compatibility strategy this gen. Their strategy is pretty much, hey, we really made the PlayStation 3 a pain in the ass to develop for. Because of that, it's a pain in the ass to emulate. So we're not gonna. Instead, we spent millions and millions of dollars on this streaming company, this streaming game service. We bought them out. And now we'd like you to pay a monthly subscription to us to play games you already own. And, you know, hasn't been popular. I haven't heard anybody really singing the praises of PlayStation Now since it came out. I feel like this has been a wasted effort on Sony's parts. But y'all can prove me wrong. Rick says, I tried PS Now for free. I think it's garbage. I have not tried PS Now for free. I haven't tried it at all yet. But I believe your assessment, Rick. I believe you 100%. Because it's not a great way to get people on board. So Microsoft's strategy has been A+, I think. And this is coming from somebody who has, from the jump, really been very skeptical and not a fan of the way Microsoft runs things. I think that the way they really tainted online multiplayer by making it pay to play was terrible for the industry. At the same time, on the other side of that coin, they really promoted online multiplayer and made it better. So there's lots of facets to everything. But Microsoft has been doing so much better than Sony in this arena. The backwards compatibility is real. You could put in an old disc, a 360 disc, and I believe an Xbox disc, an original Xbox disc into your Xbox One or your Xbox One X, and it will play. In fact, from what I remember, the Xbox One games, or the 360 games, if they had online multiplayer and that multiplayer is still active, you could play it on your Xbox One. It's amazing. Amazing. Rick says it's cheaper to buy a new PS3. Very good. Yes, I That's a very good point. I agree completely. It's the Sony strategy just comes off as greedy as hell. And Microsoft has done this huge turnaround when it comes to just trying to really win the player back. And I'm waiting on Nintendo to deliver. I feel like they've got something up their sleeve with the Virtual Console. I think they're going to try maybe to do some kind of like a subscription model, Netflix style, maybe like the Xbox One Game Pass, maybe something like that. But Sony, I haven't been a fan of at all. I feel like they've really been screwing this up. Sony is epitomizing the number one player. Anytime somebody is number one in a generation, be it Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they get cocky as hell and they screw it up every single time. Usually on the next gen. Sony's getting ahead of themselves and really trying to piss people off right now. I think their backwards compatibility strategy is crap, and I think the lack of cross-play is crap. It's just a bad deal. There's no benefit to anybody besides Sony to not allow cross-play. They say, hey, no, you can't play against Xbox players. You can't play against Switch players. No, you just can only play against PlayStation 4 players and sometimes PC. Everybody else is like, yo, let's all play together. Sony, not so much. And that's because they're the top dog and they don't want to acknowledge anybody else. That's a problem. Let's get to the next round here. Soapbox over. Or is it? No, probably not. If the soapbox was over, you would have no reason to stick around. Soapbox is not over. I still have lots of rants left in me. But yeah, they've been doing the PlayStation Now thing, and it's a huge disadvantage from the jump because you don't download the game, you don't own the game, you're just literally renting the game, and you're renting the game in the same way you would rent a movie digitally. Say you have what is it called? Vudu, like if you buy a Blu-ray or DVD and it says digital version included, and you could stream it, or if you are just watching from Netflix or Hulu, it's being streamed literally. So you are playing a video game, and it's dependent on your connection. So like when you are streaming, it could get blurry, it can time out. The latency, which is how fast you press a button or make a movement, the latency is completely dependent on your speed, your connection. So if you have a bad connection, spotty connection, you have multiple people in the house, maybe streaming, playing another game, something else, it can totally screw up your game. Especially a fighting game, or just any game in general. If I pull the trigger and it takes literally a second or even half a second for that gun to shoot, we already have a problem. And that's the inherent issue with PlayStation Now. As of now. Coolman says, sup? Hey, Coolman. Thanks for joining us. Very glad to have you. Talking PlayStation Now. Talking Xbox One backwards compatibility. And lack of Switch Virtual Console. We got more to talk about, though. Much more to talk about. Last time we streamed, last time you joined us, we were talking Bill Cosby. Rick says, some games kept on freezing on the same spot. That's interesting. I really should try PlayStation Now so I can give a full dissertation, a full dissection, a full rant. Somebody's already shooting at me. This is not a good start. Not a good start. Look at this guy. He's already shooting at me too. How do these people get guns so quick? I'm getting shot at by both directions. Why don't y'all shoot at each other? Stop shooting at the guy with the pickaxe. Just trying to make a living for myself. It's not cool. Not cool at all. Kanye says slavery was a choice. What do y'all think? Don't tell me. If you say something crazy, I don't want to know. So Rick says the games kept freezing at the same spot. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I wonder if that was a... I don't know why it would freeze at the same spot. It sounds like some kind of hardware-related issue, but not on your end. More like on Sony's end. How did I survive that, by the way? I have no idea. I was fish in a barrel right there, and they let me live. That's mercy. Or stupidity. They could have got an easy kill. But now I'm back for revenge on both of those fools, right? Right. Alright, welcome, third viewer. I think that's you, cool, man. This YouTube's it has some latency issues like PlayStation Now. YouTube wants me to know, or wants to know what I think of YouTube gaming streaming service. Do I think it's a smiley face, a neutral face, or a frowny face? What do y'all think? Right now, I'm kind of at the neutral face. I feel like they could improve a few things, but overall, I think it's more user-friendly than Twitch, as you can see, because we've only done a bunch of Twitch videos so far. How'd that fool get up there, by the way? Oh, maybe he played the game right. I guess you could play it that way. Why is it trying to make stairs? Okay, come on. Come on, Fortnite. Okay. Clearly, I'm not a pro. But yeah, we're going to play some Fortnite. But best believe we got more going on. Oh, I want to talk more about E3. Last time we talked about roughly what some E3 plans were. Got a little bit more ideas floating around here. I'm thinking about doing 90% of my E3 streams live. How's that sound? Y'all might not be. See, look at that. I feel like I'm ready. I have a plan. I don't have enough wood. Ain't that a bitch? Yeah, I'm thinking about doing it live. Everybody except the one I really want to, which is Nintendo. Gotta work. You know, gotta eat to live. Now I'm getting shot at. 31st, though. 31st. Made me some stairs. Got shot at. That guy looks just like me. Ain't that a bitch? Yeah, so E3-wise, I'm thinking about streaming reactions to EA, Microsoft, Sony, and Ubisoft. Maybe Bethesda, too. Gotta remember what time they are. Live. And if you don't see it live, that's okay. The replay will be on YouTube almost right away. So I'd love to know if you guys are interested in that. Regardless, I'm gonna do it. So, interesting experiment. What can go wrong? Nothing. Nothing can ever go wrong. Remember that. Remember that next time you go skydiving. Nothing can ever go wrong. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to play one more round of Fortnite. For now, we might come back to the Fortnite. But after that, we're going to do some trailer reactions. Talk about some video games. We're going to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2 and Runner 3 and any other games y'all want to talk about. How's that sound? I think it sounds pretty good, but I'm in control here. I have no filter. No filter tonight. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, so last time, maybe a time or two ago, I was talking about how I couldn't find my SD card for my camera. So, lately you've been seeing me do the streams. And you might be thinking, hey, I want to see him not do the streams. I want to see him do something else. And I totally feel you, bro. I understand. I know where you're coming from. I said, oh, yeah, my SD card is supposed to be here Wednesday. That was like last Wednesday ago, right? A week ago. That same night or the night after, I get an email from Amazon saying, hey, we lost it. So, I learned Amazon's lost policy, which is contact us. Amazon doesn't just do it for you. They don't fix their issue. That's a crater right there. That's a comet crater. I'm going that way. I want to see this underground lair that obviously nobody else is going to look at, right? So Amazon's policy is contact us and we'll figure it out. Talked to their rep and they said, okay, we'll give you a credit for this. I pretty much bought everything I had bought and I finally got it. Got myself an SD card so I could finally make some more traditional laser lemming videos again. Just not tonight, obviously. So, that's what we'll do. Yeah, I'm not alone here. These other fools are here too. They're like, I want to see the comment. Crap, man. They already know. They already know about this. I guess I'm not the first person to play the Season 4 of Fortnite. Shocking. So what's this? If I land on this, do I get special powers? It looks like I'm the only one landing on this, so maybe it was a bad idea. Can I break it? Can I break this time? No, I cannot. I better run. Run, girl. I'm trying to get you out of that. Okay. So, yeah. Cool Man says Red Dead 2 looks good. I'm assuming you've probably seen this trailer I'm about to see. This fool doesn't know I'm here! Oh yeah, now he does. Now he does. Now he does. He's got the same weapons. He's running. He's running. I feel like I'm chasing. This is the slowest chase ever. Does he know? Does he know? I got somebody chasing me now. This is getting real meta. Shit. Okay. 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 Oh, look at this fool healing himself, and then I got killed. 59th place. Yeah, so I haven't seen the new Red Dead trailer, but let's do it now. Let's do it right now. Gonna return to lobby. Coolman says, I saw a reaction video of the trailer. Well, if you stick around, you're about to see another one. Hopefully it's everything you ever expected. Everything you ever expected and more. But we won't know until we watch this together. Now, if you will pardon me for a moment. I am parched. Parched means extremely thirsty. You know how I learned that word, by the way? Little game called Nintendogs for the DS. Y'all remember Nintendogs? Did you guys have a DS, original DS? You know, funny story about the DS. Before we watch this Red Dead Redemption trailer 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer. 3, actually. So, Nintendogs was a launch game for the Nintendo DS. Mr. Hiroshi Yamauchi, he was the president of Nintendo before the system came out. He said, because Nintendo was doing kind of poorly. This was around the GameCube era, and the GameCube was, before the Wii U, the GameCube was one of Nintendo's biggest failures. And he said, yo, the Nintendo DS will either rise us to the heavens or sink us to hell, something like that. And, you know, the story. Nintendo rose to the heavens. The DS was a huge success, and Nintendogs, a launch title game, I believe it was a launch title, or very close to launch, definitely helped Nintendo rise to the heavens. And that's how I learned that my dog, my Nintendog, was very thirsty, because it would say my Nintendog is parched. So I give him some water. Named him Harvey, after Harvey Dent from Batman. Coolman says, yeah, I remember that game. A female friend of mine had it. Here I'm talking about my Nintendo. Yeah, it was definitely a very female-friendly game. My Nintendo right now is probably extremely parched. If you just left your Nintendo alone for like a day or two, that dog would be so hungry, so thirsty, so needing a walk. It was like a very advanced Tamagotchi, which is really bringing it back for some of y'all. But when I was in elementary school, and then probably almost bordering junior high school, middle school, Nintendogs was, or not Nintendogs, Tamagotchis. That was the pre-Nintendogs. That was, you know, these little LCD screens, little egg-shaped things you just keep around with you. And that's where Digimon came from, by the way. It was kind of like a little Tamagotchi. You can link to a friend and fight with each other. Cool, basic stuff. Anyway, to make a long story short, we're about to watch a Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer together. And I think it's going to be good. I'm assuming, right? I really like the first Red Dead Redemption. And I can't imagine, well, I can imagine this disappointing, but I hope it doesn't. So maybe I should make the trailer. Oh man, look at that. I'm like screwing up the perspective on this sucker. Hold on a second. Coolman says Digimon didn't last that long like Pokemon. You know what? Before we watch this trailer, I, as a young, very biased child, was no Digimon fan. I remember really making fun of it, and I feel like a lot of it was justifiably so. Digimon was, to me, okay, so I don't know how Japanese naming schemes go. I don't know if everything is called Digimon in Japan. Because to me, you know, kid from California, I saw Pokemon, and then I saw Digimon. Like, okay, this is, you know, a copycat. It's like monsters fighting monsters. It's a copycat. And Digimon was just inferior in every way, because if you actually watched an episode of Digimon that was airing out in the West at that time on 4Kids Entertainment or wherever it was on, I know it was on Fox Kids, it was crap. It was really bad. The production values were negative 100. It was really bad. And they would reuse footage all the time and probably voice clips, and I hated it. I made fun of it all the time. My little brother really liked it and gave him a hard time for it. But, I mean, even though Pokemon is definitely outlasted and a much more popular brand, I think justifiably so, Digimon is still around. They still occasionally make a movie or so. I think they did another series kind of recently. And they're still making games every now and then. But I did own the Digimon Tamagotchi game, which I thought was kind of cool. That was the original Digimon before the show and all that. Coolman says, I remember getting the Taco Bell kids meal, and they gave metal Digimon cards. Oh, yeah, the holographic cards. See, that's another reason I was like, in my young brain, I thought, oh, this is just a copycat, because Pokemon had cards and Digimon had cards, and you can't have two Mons having cards. And this is a long way of saying, welcome to the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer reaction.
Listen to me. We don't want to kill any of you. But trust me, we will. Wake them up a little!
All right.
This whole thing is pretty much done. We're more ghosts than people.
Wasn't nearly been tamed. What's another late Western? I like
You have got to keep faith. They will not crush us.
Age of Gunslinger and Outlaws had almost passed into myth.
Good old Dutch. My best friend. You know how we met? Pair of hucksters trying to rob each other. Back in 78 or thereabouts.
You have to love yourself a fire. It's one of the blessings. Sure, we can have fire. And we can have the knowledge of fire. But with that comes the knowledge of everything. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a robbery.
Sons of Dutch. Makes us brothers. Sometimes, brothers make mistakes.
You'll never change. I know that.
All of you venerate savagery. And you will die savagely.
Get out here! Stay strong. Stay with me. You have to love yourself a fire.
Say you have to love yourself a fire.
Product not yet rated.
Product not yet rated. Okay. Okay. Let's end on that Rockstar. You know, let's end on the Red Dead Redemption 2 logo. Just while we talk about that for a sec. Y'all play Red Dead Redemption? You guys play that game on the PS3 or the Xbox 360? Did not come out on the PC. Notoriously never came out on the PC because it was a game that notoriously went through development hell. So I guess the coding is such a mess that game will probably never be ported to anything else. Except for, apparently, Xbox backwards compatibility. Rick says, one of my favorite games. Good man. Good man. I spent tons of hours in that game. And I think it was deservedly so. And when I first heard about this game, after coming off the success of the Grand Theft Auto 5, and especially after, you know, they ditched their single-player DLC completely and went all for shark cards, multiplayer, stuff. I was actually pretty nervous about this game. This trailer seemed to be very focused on the single player. So it's kind of making me feel a little more comfortable, raising the hype levels up a little bit. I'm a little bit more comfortable in the Red Dead skin. Cool Man says, yeah, I played Red Dead and Undead Nightmare. I never got to play Undead Nightmare. I think I talked about that an episode or two ago. But I really liked Red Dead. I remember hunting for beaver pelts. Every time I finally found a beaver, because beavers were hard to find in like a specific mountain, I would just shout, beaver! Beaver! I was so excited. So excited to find that beaver. So excited anytime you get some beaver. Some beaver pelt. Yeah, this has a single player focus. At least this trailer does. So I'm interested. Color me interested, Rockstar. I know it ain't coming out for the Switch, and there's no PC on this. But you better believe this game is coming out to PC. I might wait for it to come out to PC, come to think. Maybe not. Maybe not. This game might be something you just really enjoy playing in front of a TV. But on the other hand, y'all might like watching this game on a stream, right? Right? And I know the first Red Dead Redemption had a multiplayer aspect that I played a couple times. Oh, not a couple. I played a handful of times. I was planning on playing it a lot. You know, before the game came out, they said, oh, you can have your posse, your gang, you and your peoples. You go riding around towns, shooting people, shooting other people online. My friends copped out. They said, oh, yeah, we're going to get this game. It's going to be dope. I'm the only one that got it on time, on the right system. So the posse never happened, even though it was a great game. Those fools missed out. Y'all didn't. Coleman says the multiplayer is fun. Yeah, even by myself, the few times I did get to play it, I enjoyed it. It would have been better with other people, of course, but yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Next thing we're going to do is look at a little trailer for Runner 3. Not quite as mainstream, but I'm interested to know your reactions. And in fact, I did already watch this trailer, so my bad. But I'll talk over it. I'll talk over and tell you my thoughts about the Runner series.
The game title.
That is the voice of Mario, by the way.
Well, I'm
Charles
glad to see you.
Martinet.
Are you happy to see me? Very good. Very good. And now it's time for Runner 3.
Oh, Runner 2, I missed that. Commander Video. These games are rhythm games, but they're so fun and so challenging. Just look at everything that's happening. Like, what you're seeing here is somebody playing very well. But the games require excellent timing and skill, and the more games there are in this series, the more options they give you as far as moving. First game started as like an 8-bit kind of game that it looked like it belonged on the NES. Nintendo Entertainment. Into a very next-gen looking indie game. And I'm 100% into it. So into it that I would force you to watch it as I talk over. Isn't that fun? But it's like one of those kind of addicting games where you just want to, even if you beat a level like you just saw this person beat, even if you beat the level, you can get a better score. And after Runner 2, you could see that you could go in different paths. And if you went a different path, you can unlock a different level. Very similar to something like Super Mario World. Rick says it looks interesting. And it is. It is interesting. Thank you, Rick. So interesting that I feel like y'all deserved a little bit of Fortnite. So back to Fortnite we go. But yeah, Coolman says it looks fun. It is fun. It's a game that you definitely, it's a game you have to play. Like, so I'm playing God of War right now, right? On the PS4. The God of War soft reboot. Good game. Challenging game. Story is good. But as far as like a game is concerned, it's like a game that is centered around a story. So Kratos, your main character in God of War, is confined to certain areas. Like take Zelda Breath of the Wild. You see an area, you see a cliff, a mountain, whatever. you can climb on it. You can get there. No matter how high it is, you could most likely get there. 99.9% of the time. Unless you're at the very borders of the map, you can get there. God of War, not so much. It's a story-centered game. Some bushes, some chopped down tree, whatever. That stuff stops Kratos. And Runner 2, Runner 3. These are video games. They're very much about the video game, the game part of the video game. So it's all about the fun and play. So I can appreciate both. I really like God of War. Games like God of War, The Last of Us, Uncharted. But sometimes you just want to play a straight-up video game where you can turn your mind off to the story and just focus on the gameplay itself. The addictive gameplay itself. Which I think is why games like Fortnite and Call of Duty and Battlefield and PUBG, whatever, this guy's invisible. How do you get invisible? That's why I think games like that are so popular to watch online, because you're actually looking at the competitive nature of the game itself. You're looking at somebody playing a game, not watching somebody playing a story. So I'm enjoying playing God of War. I'm enjoying playing South Park, The Fractured But Whole on Switch. But those are story-based games, and I don't think they're as fun to watch somebody else play. I think you guys are more interested in watching somebody play a game-focused game. And I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Do you agree with me? Do you think, hey, no, Chris. I think I would much rather watch somebody talk in a cutscene. I don't know. So, you got these craters here, right? We got these craters that are in the game, and I really want to check them out, but when I do, I'm not the only one. People seem to kill me when I try. So I need more of those folks over there to just jump out of the plane before I get to my crater. How do I beat them? How do I beat them to the crater? Oh, and I got one more note I left for myself to talk about today. And of course, we could talk about more than this, but as far as my notepad is concerned with things to talk about, we got Harry Potter, Hogwarts Mystery. Y'all know about this game? Mobile game. I don't play a lot of mobile games. Last mobile game I played was South Park Phone Destroyer. Which, oh, look at this guy. You think he knows I'm coming? Oh, man. Oh, man. What is this? Can I get this? Oh, my God. What happens when you get these crystals? Besides getting shot at. Kill this fool! He had a gun. Rick says, I heard of the controversy. Cool Man says he hasn't heard of it. So, let's talk about it. Yeah, there's some controversy. This is a game. In my regular Laser Lemming videos, I talk about Warner Brothers Interactive a lot, because they are one of the worst publishers I think around. They are literally right up there with EA and Activision, and in some cases Ubisoft. And they fly under the radar a lot because their games aren't as high profile as your Call of Duties, your Battlefields, your Assassin's Creeds. But they do have their games, right? And Warner Brothers has the rights to the Harry Potter franchise, both in movies and games. And they released a new game for the phone. You know, ever since Harry Potter came out, people have wanted to explore Hogwarts, kind of have a Harry Potter RPG, traditional RPG. And so they finally released Harry Potter, recently, Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. And it lets you create your character, go around Hogwarts, you know, just do different things that you would do in the Harry Potter universe. But every stereotype, every negative stereotype you've heard about free-to-play mobile games, this game epitomizes. So any kind of action, literally any kind of action, probably from walking to literally, I guess I learned smiling, requires you to use energy. And a popular trope in free-to-play mobile games, you call them free-to-play, but it's not free. Popular trope is to get the player to, or require the player to consume some kind of energy, or however they want to label it, but pretty much make everything quantifiable. So if I sat down, that's 20 star cards, you know. EA would call it, star crystals or whatever the hell they want to call it. Harry Potter has, I don't know what they call them, hearts, whatever it is, magic. But it's designed so that you literally cannot progress through the game without constantly waiting for something to regenerate, or, of course, you know, paying them to keep on going. How cynical of a person do you have to be to design a game this way? To say, hey, we made this game, you want to play this game, that's great. If you want to play it, if you want to keep playing it, we'll let you play for 20 minutes. But if you want to keep playing it after that, you will either need to wait an additional 20 minutes, or you could just pay us some money. We are going to make this game that we say is fun, but you'll need to constantly, literally constantly pay us money to continue playing it. There's all these arguments about how, you know, games need to be free to play in order to attract people to the mobile market, because people don't want to pay money. You know, Nintendo released Super Mario Run for $10. Mobile market largely, even though it was semi-successful, mobile market largely rejected it because $10 was just a crazy price to them. They're so used to $1 games, or even more commonly these days, free games. And so Warner Brothers comes along and says, hey, we have this hugely popular IP with Harry Potter, and we're going to make it a complete pain in the ass to play, and you will pay us money to keep playing this game. Just because you know the IP, you like it, you've always wanted to do this. We made it as unfun as humanly possible. I think that's freaking disgusting. But it's something I've noticed in Warner Brothers a long time ago, and I've talked about it. You know, they had... when they first really started irking me was with the last Mortal Kombat game, because that game had disposable DLC, microtransactions. You could pay $5 for 30 easy fatalities. 30. So you pay $5 and you get easy fatalities, like a couple buttons. You know, because Mortal Kombat games, especially from the Super Nintendo and Genesis days, and even in the N64 and PS2, you know, just any time before this generation, fatalities were like crazy combinations. You had to like dial them all in accurately, quickly, and completely, and then they would do a cool fatality, killing the character, the opposite character, the opponent. And so Warner Brothers says, hey, you know, not everybody's able to do that. It's not easy for everybody. Let's make it easier. Charge $5, but you only get to do it 30 times. After that, another $5. When they did that, I was really taking note of Warner Brothers. And then, of course, they had their infamous Shadow of War catastrophe, where it was a single-player game, and they designed it around microtransactions. And of course, I made a video where they talked about reversing that policy after, of course, they made all their money off of it. You know, the people that were going to buy Shadow of War, for the most part, had already bought Shadow of War, but they finally reversed it. But I said, hey, you can't do this again, Warner Brothers, and here they go. You got Harry Potter, Hogwarts Mystery, charging people to smile. And if you don't, the character is strangled in game until, you know, the timer runs out, or you, of course, pay Warner Brothers to keep going. Disgusting. Just disgusting. And I wonder if J.K. Rowling is aware of what's going on with her brand, essentially. You know, she made Harry Potter, and Warner Brothers is here collecting, making the game worse. Coolman says Mortal Kombat is a classic. Yeah. Old school Mortal Kombat for sure. Even the new Mortal Kombat game, I've heard, is functionally very good. But if you design it in such a gross way, I'm turned off. Personally, I'm turned off completely by it. And I feel like I can't be alone. But so many people were not around, or they just don't pay enough attention. But a lot of people weren't around when, you know, Mortal Kombat games were not this way. They had cheat codes where you can unlock things. You know, they had babalities. They had the nice, what was it? The friendly fatalities. I forgot what you call it. But they had different things you could unlock just by literally looking at a magazine or going online, plugging in a cheat code, and it would unlock different things. Those days are gone. And for somebody like me, it's very sad to see. It's very sad to know what we had and to see what we have now. And people justify it by saying, oh, games are so expensive to make these days and blah, 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 blah. But it doesn't have to be that way. You have the what is it, Hellblade? Hellblade. That game came out for like $30. And it's like a AAA tier game for $30. And made by a relatively small team. So games don't need to cost millions and millions and millions of dollars to create, clearly. Then that game is profitable. So I feel like the industry is telling us one thing. The industry is telling us, oh, you know, we can't do that. We can't make smaller games. Yet we have the indie scene, which is full of smaller games, and the indie scene has a wide array of games. It has a wide variety of games. You have games that are NES style, 8-bit style, even Atari style, and sometimes PS1 style or N64 style. But then you have games like Fast RMX, which look like they could easily fit in with a current gen racer. So there's a wide spectrum of games that hit the indie scene. You have Yooka-Laylee, Snake Pass. Those are 3D platformers that look very good. Snake Pass is made on Unreal Engine 4. Unreal Engine 4 is the same engine they're using to make games like Gears of War. If you could do that, obviously games don't need to cost millions and millions and millions of dollars to make. So you have games like God of War, which are the exception, Last of Us, which are the exception, because you have very complex engines, very complex storytelling, complex cinematics, expensive voice acting, that sort of thing. But not every game needs to be that. In the GameCube, PS2, Xbox era, you had these mid-tier games that were somewhere in the middle. And they didn't need to necessarily cost full price. You have all these games that come out for $60 now, and they quickly drop price because most people aren't buying them for $60. The industry tells you one thing and does another. I just think it's BS. Coolman says the DLC characters aren't even part of the Mortal Kombat universe. That's true. You know, you have Predator, Ninja Turtles. And in some extents, I think that's cool. But then you have like licensing issues that prevent really cool things from happening. So like the Injustice games are rated T for teen. And that's because, you know, Warner Brothers wants to keep these things. They want Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, whatever. They want those to hit as wide of an audience as possible. They don't want them to be limited to the adult audience. And, of course, they want to make bank, too. So that's why you have licensed characters like Predator and Ninja Turtles. I haven't seen what their... Predator, you know, Predator is an R-rated franchise. Kind of belongs in an R-rated or an M-rated game, I guess. Ninja Turtles, not so much. I like the Ninja Turtles, but I don't know if they belong in the Injustice game. But I haven't seen the actual video of them playing or their fatalities, whatever they're called in. Well, it's Mortal Kombat, right? I haven't seen what they look like in the game, but maybe I'd really like it. I don't know. But yeah, that's my soapbox for right now. Let me see if I have any more I can quickly run through. That would be good to talk about. Otherwise, though, anything you guys want to talk about? Completely down. Where's my? Why can't you see Fortnite? There we go. All right. So, I feel like there's something else to talk about here. Oh, so Donkey Kong. Speaking of Nintendo, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is hitting the Switch on Friday. My wife and I played through Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. It took us a couple years to finally get around to finishing, but we beat it. That game's hard as balls, by the way. But it's a great game. Thing is, game cost $50 on the Wii U at launch. It costs $60 right now, brand new on the Switch. Nintendo knows how to milk it, man. Coolman says Leatherface is in Mortal Kombat. Leatherface is from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? Really? He's in Mortal Kombat? I guess I could see it. Kind of. It almost feels like it. We're bordering it. I mean, maybe we need like a horror fighter. I could see that, like Leatherface versus the Leatherface copycat from Resident Evil 4. You know, guy with the sandbag on his head, the chainsaw. They both have chainsaws and bags on their head. Yeah, I could see that. What the hell was I saying though? Oh, Donkey Kong. So Nintendo adds an extra character. They add Funky, and they say Funky's worth the extra $10. You know, most games after they've been out for 4 years drop in price, even when there's a new, like a re-release. You know, the re-release will come out maybe with some fancier graphics and maybe come out about at least $20 less than when it came out at launch, like Shadow of the Colossus, the remake, the actual remake on PlayStation 4. Maybe I'm about to completely lie, but I want to say the remake was like $40, but maybe it was $60 full price. But that's a remake. That's different. But a game, it's literally a port with a better resolution. I guess it runs at 1080p, 60 frames per second docked on the Switch, and it was 720p docked on the Wii U. There was no docked versus undocked. $10 more. I paid $50 for it on the Wii U, and they want me to pay $60. Nah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for it to get a nice little sale. But we love the Donkey Kong games, and we'd love to just play this one again, because if you haven't played it and you have a Switch, get Donkey Kong for $60. Why not? But if you already have it, I don't know. I feel like I'm really bending to Nintendo's greed, and I'm saying that as somebody who had Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, and I bought it again full price on the Switch. But I justify that a little bit more mentally speaking, because the Switch version of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, came with all of the DLC from the Wii U version, which I didn't own on the Wii U. And it also had extra mode, it had a completely new, revamped, much better battle mode. And it had a different gameplay mechanic in that you could hold 2 items at once versus 1 on the Wii U. Rick says, the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw dude always freaked me out. Yeah, that guy was freaky, man. I feel you. Every time that guy came on the screen, you were running. You were running, because no matter, you could put a ton of bullets in that dude, and he would still come at you. It felt real. It felt real. As unrealistic as that is, you're just popping that guy in his sandbag head. He's still coming at you hard. And he would literally cut your head off. You just see him. Right there, you see your head just plop onto the ground. The game over screen would say, "You are dead." Made you feel bad. You felt bad, man. Still haven't played Resident Evil 7. I played the demo. Pretty good. What I liked about it was that it actually focused on the horror element of Resident Evil. And I'm saying that as somebody who really liked Resident Evil 4. I felt like Resident Evil 4 still had a fairly decent amount of horror to it, but it wasn't straight horror. Resident Evil 5 was when they really started to push it towards the action horror adventure, or action horror genre, kind of creating their own thing. And I haven't played Resident Evil 6 yet. I own it on Steam. I should play it. But I've heard that it just takes it completely in that direction. Oh, look, I'm learning new things watching this person play. I'm learning that you can actually build things pretty quickly and jump off and fly again with your parachute. Wow, amazing. Amazing stuff. But yeah, here I am digressing. Just thinking thoughts about Resident Evil 4. But yeah, I think here's what I think is going to happen. I'm thinking we do the E3 thing, and E3 is not. It's literally a month and about just under a month and, well, let's say a month and a week and a half away, roughly speaking. I think it starts June 9th or 10th with the conferences, and that's when I'll start streaming. But I'm gonna prepare. I'm gonna have my thumbnails ready. What's going on in this game, by the way? I'm seeing things I've never seen before. Storm, is this part of Season 4? Is this just something that happens when you live longer than 2 minutes? It's raining. This looks interesting. This is why PUBG's getting their lunch ate by Epic with Fortnite, because they do things like this. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to E3 quite a bit, and I hope you guys are able to join me for at least some of the conferences. I think it'll be a fun time because, like I said, most of it's going to be live, and I'll be just as surprised as you are. I think it'll be a good time. But let me know your thoughts, comment section below. What are you looking forward to about E3? What would you like me to continue to discuss? I feel like this was a good discussion. Pretty focused. And I enjoyed our time together. If you could go ahead and like this video if you liked it. You could dislike it if you didn't like it. Still helps. If you didn't like it, though, please tell me what you didn't like about it. Hell, if you did like it, let me know what you liked about it. That would be great. That would be great. Also, feel free to subscribe if you have not already. There is a subscribe button below the video. And like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. That's very helpful. And, you know, if you want to dedicate your life to us, that'd be great too. You could tell your friends about us. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Coolman says, I don't really know. Me neither, Coolman. Me neither. Life is tricky. Life is hard. But you guys make it all worthwhile. And I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all for showing up so much. Like, it's awesome. You guys are great. We'll do this again. We'll do this again. I want to make my next video a more traditional video. That might be next week. If I could swing it this week, that'd be great too. We'll see. We'll see. And who knows? I'm sure another stream is in the near future as well. But yeah, go ahead and like us, whatever. Follow us. Appreciate it. I am looking forward to seeing you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Let's do this again. Talk to you later.